Hey guys, so many of you, if you're from the UK, will know that yesterday was GCSE results day, and I got my results, and yesterday morning I was absolutely terrified about how I was going to do, but when I actually finally got my envelope and took all my certificates out and those provisional statement things, I just had the biggest sense of relief I've ever had in my life, because in the morning I thought that I'd failed everything, but as soon as I got that envelope and I looked at my results, it just dawned on me that I didn't fail a single thing. This video is just to tell you really how I did in each subject, because I feel like this is an important stage of my life that you guys might actually be interested in. And one point that I'd like to make about this is that it's not supposed to be me bragging, it's just me celebrating with you really how I did and sharing my feelings of happiness and joy and contentment with you. It's not supposed to be me saying, hey, look at what I got, I did better than you, haha. No, that's not me at all. So this is just basically me saying how I did, and if you guys got your results yesterday, do let me know how you did, because I'm sure that you did brilliantly, and even if you didn't do as well as you thought you might, you can still be successful. Don't let it get you down. You still have chances to improve. So yeah. So to start off with, I thought that I'd briefly explain what GCSEs are, just so that people in other countries understand what the heck my grades actually mean for me. So GCSEs are basically the first qualifications that you ever do in England. They're your first step into your hard educational life, and they are a stepping stone to see whether you can progress into college or sixth form or employment or an apprenticeship. So you get two different styles of GCSE. You get the traditional GCSE, which is both assessed by coursework and examination. Then you have the BTEC, which is the coursework based subject, and you don't have any exams in that at all. And I did a mix, so I can fully tell you what each are like. Whilst they're not as academic as the normal GCSEs, they do give you a lot of time to be yourself, and you can do whatever you want practically. You have a task title and you have things to do, but you can make it your own, and it's more fun than having a set structure in your normal subjects and you have to do what they tell you to do. So I would recommend them. I did 9 traditional GCSEs and then 2 BTECs, and then one qualification is a bit of a mix of the two, but it's a bit strange, so I'm going to basically leave it by itself. The GCSEs I did were English language, English literature, mathematics, astronomy, biology, chemistry, physics, history and French. The BTECs I did were media studies and performing arts, which is basically drama. And then the one that's a bit odd is ICT or IT, or basically your computer subjects where you learn how to use them and all that stuff. And those are the 12 qualifications that I did. I also had physical education as a compulsory subject, but you don't get a qualification from that. And to say that I didn't like PE, I put a heck of a lot of effort into it, and I would have liked something to show for it. All I've got is a postcard saying your daughter did some good work in PE today, and that's from like 5 years ago. Let's start with the explanation of grading, because that's pretty much the only thing that matters, I suppose. With the normal GCSEs, the traditional GCSEs, you have a grade scale from A star to U. A star is the best you can get, then going on to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then U. U is basically ungraded. You haven't given anything in that is worthy of any sort of credit whatsoever, so you definitely don't want to get a U. The minimum you should aim for, I personally believe, is a C. It's the pass grade that you need, and if you are looking to go into college or sixth form, you are going to need at least 5 Cs, including English and Maths, to go. So a C is definitely what you should aim for as a minimum. That's how GCSEs are graded. With the BTECs it's a little different, but you have grades that equate to GCSE grades, so it's a bit similar, but they have different names and it's a bit weird really. With BTECs you go from distinction star, which is basically the equivalent of an A star, to a fail grade, which is the U. So distinction star to distinction, merit, pass and fail. The distinction star, as I just said, equates to an A star, distinction is an A, merit is a B, pass is a C, and a U is pretty much the fail grade. So yeah, that's how it works, and hopefully that was a good enough explanation. If you do have any questions, it would probably be easier for me to answer them in the comments. So then, now on to the actual part of the video that you guys wanted to see, which is actually what I got in each subject. As I said before, this isn't me trying to brag, it's just me trying to celebrate what I got with you, and I'm really happy with myself, and I'm really happy that I did as well as I did. So, English, we'll start with my favourite subject ever, and it will probably be my favourite subject forever. I did both courses of language and literature, and I like them both equally, but I have to say that my personal preference, if I had to pick one, would be literature, because it's all based around books and I love analysing language and all that stuff. So definitely literature would be my favourite outlet too if I had to pick. But if I don't have to pick, they're both my favourite. So yeah, funnily enough, because they're both my favourite, I actually got the same grade in both. And because I have a deep affinity for English, and because I really love doing English and reading and all that stuff, I actually got A stars! Woo! Because I love English. If I showed you my reports from when I was younger, all they ever say is, Georgina was too interested in her book to listen today. Things like that. And then I had the ones that said, she's really good at English and she's not so good at maths. And I find that kind of insulting because I got the same grade in maths as I did English. So I've proved you all wrong! A stars in both Englishes, which makes me really happy because it basically reflects my inner love for English, and I'm just glad that the examiners thought that I loved English as much as I do. So yeah, happy about that. Then I have maths. As I just said, I got the same grade as I did in English, which was an A star. I had to resit that exam once because I got an A the first time, which isn't bad. But I was actually made to resit it by the head of maths because he put everybody in, no matter what they got, and I managed to resit and get the better grade of A star, so I was really happy about that. Moving on to my least favourite set of subjects, which are the science ones. There's basically 2 or 3 that I like, and then 1 that I hate. And the funny thing is, if you put all 4 sciences that I did in alphabetical order, the results that correspond to those actually spell out one of my favourite older bands, which is ABBA, and I love ABBA. So, yeah, that's an embarrassing truth, but it's not embarrassing, they're awesome. So, yeah, if you want to see what I mean, I'll put it on the screen, actually. First one is astronomy, and I got an A in astronomy, which really surprised me because I genuinely thought I was going to get a C or worse because it's a really hard subject, and we only had a year to do that. So I was really happy that doing it in 1 year, I managed to get an A. Next we have biology, which was my favourite science until astronomy came along, and I got a B in that. I'm happy with that because science isn't something that I want to pursue in the future, it's just something that I did because I thought it would make me look smart, basically. And it did, I suppose. I've got passing grades in all of them, so go me! Next I have chemistry. Foul. Cannot stand it. I wish I had never done it, but I don't think I'd have been able to pick the 2 sciences that I wanted to do. So I did triple, and I got a B in that as well, and that's really good for me. I honestly thought I'd do worse, but chemistry is the worst science ever. I'm sorry if you guys love it, but I can't stand it. I don't understand it. It's pointless to me. I don't care how many electrons are in the outer shell of an atom or whatever. It's just weird. Finally, I have physics, which I got an A in, and I suppose I got an A in both physics and astronomy because they link together. And I suppose my maths grade also helped because maths, you know, applies to physics and all the formulas and stuff, and then with working out things about astronomy, that's how it works. So, yeah, cool. And what's after sciences? What did I have after sciences? I'm on my 8th now, which means it must be French time. So in French I got a B, which isn't what I wanted, but I actually think there's been a mistake. And I'm not saying that just because I feel like there's something wrong with my grade. It's because I've actually looked at what other people have said, and my friends have actually had the same problem. With our coursework that we submitted from school, there's actually been a calculation error of some sort, and I can tell because I got better in my writing than I did in my speaking, but on my results sheet in here, it actually has my speaking grade being better, so that's clearly wrong already. But if you use the AQA, which is the exam board, their conversion table thing, if you convert the marks that I know I got into the UMS, which is basically the bunch of numbers that they use to calculate your overall grade, if I convert my raw mark to my UMS, it's more using that converter, the official converter that they have got on their website for that qualification. I get a bigger number than is written on my sheet, so there's definitely something wrong, I think. So, yeah, I'm definitely thinking that my B will go up to an A. So, yeah, it's a B currently, but I do think I've got an A, which I'm really happy with. If I do get that qualification in the end, having a B or an A will be fabulous. And I'm actually, if I do get the A and I do get the number overall that I think I will, I'm actually 7 marks off an A star. So, yeah, my teacher's going to be annoyed whichever way this goes. The last GCSE I had is history, and this was my chosen humanities subject. And initially I was aiming for an A star, and I would have liked the A star, and I think with God on my side, even though I don't believe in God, I may still get that A star, because right now I've got an A, but it's the highest A you could possibly imagine, because with the UMS boundaries you get a boundary line of a number, and if you get that number then you get the grade that it's, below, so if that makes sense. With history, it's out of 240, and you need 216 to get the A star grade, but I've got 214! How horrible is that? I had full marks on my coursework, I got 80 out of 90 on my second exam, and my first exam is the one that let me down. I found that really, really hard, and to get an A in that was just phenomenal for me. So if they could find 2 more marks in my first exam or my second exam, because obviously they can't improve on my coursework because it's already full marks, so if they could find those 2 marks anywhere, it would be the best day of my life, basically, because I really wanted the A star in history. So yeah, that's my GCSE results. Moving on to the OCR subject, which was ICT. I did this in 2 years, and that's why I had a gap on my timetable for the rest of the 3rd year. I actually got a distinction, so that's the equivalent of an A grade. And that's perfectly fine with me. I'm not really a computer whiz, I wouldn't consider myself that, but it's a very good grade for me and I'm really happy with it. And then the final 2, I got the same grade in, and I was really surprised because I always thought that people calling me a drama queen was them being sarcastic, but apparently I am actually pretty good at drama because I got a distinction star in drama, and because I did the diploma, that means that I've got the equivalent of 3 GCSE grades, and already the distinction star is the equivalent of an A star, so if it's the diploma and I get 3, I got 3 A stars from doing my drama diploma, and that is just, honestly, let's make a short film or something. I should meet up with some YouTubers and just make some sort of film and see if I'm actually convincing or not, because I'm really, really happy. I never thought I'd get a distinction star in drama. It's just beyond me. It really is. If you look at me in my primary school plays, I didn't even act. They made me sing because they thought I was so bad at acting that I couldn't qualify. And look at me now, I've got a distinction star, 3 A star grades in drama. Oh god, they're so gonna laugh at that. So, yeah, I'm really happy with my drama grade, I really am. And then the final one is media studies, and this was possibly the most stressful subject that I ever did, because not because of the coursework so much, it wasn't because of the subject or how much work it was more because of the group element. We had to work in groups a lot in media, and with me, I have this sort of mentality that means I don't like depending on people for my grade. I like to know that everything that I've done is my own work, and that if I do worse than I think I have, it's my fault. I don't like it being someone else's fault. That's why media was quite stressful for me, but in the end, thankfully, I did get my distinction star. I got full marks in every single unit, which was bizarre. But yeah, I really enjoyed media. I'm taking it on for A-level, and I haven't really spoken about those much. I'm doing English literature, law, history, and media. So I'm going to really enjoy it, I think, when I move on. And the sad thing is that I'm not sticking with my same teacher who I really liked, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure I'll have fun. So yeah. That's my results. I'll leave a list of my results in the description as well, just so it's easier for you guys to read. And I just hope that you did as well as you wanted to. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm just going to briefly show you, actually, if I can, my sheet thing, because it makes me laugh. It really does make me laugh. So hang on. See if I can show you this. Oh, here we are. Look at that. That's my grades for those.